the best drivers around. Green flag, let's go. Come on boys, it's time to put on a show. Caution's out, oh no, to the back of the pack is where we go. Slide jobs, slide ways is how we like to spend most of our days. Bump draft, bumper hook, we knew going in that's the risk we took. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. No drama, race tough, keep it clean to the end might be enough. White flag, checker flies, out here with our friends living our best lives. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Race tough, keep it clean to the end might be enough. White flag, checker flies, out here with our friends living our best lives. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Green flag, let's go. Come on boys, it's time to put on a show. Caution's out, oh no, to the back of the pack is where we go. Slide jobs, slide ways is how we like to spend most of our days. Bump draft, bumper hook, we knew going in that's the risk we took. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. No drama, race tough, keep it clean to the end might be enough. White flag, checker flies, out here with our friends living our best lives. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Race tough, keep it clean to the end, might be enough. White flag, checker flies, out here with our friends living our best lives. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RDG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. We've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Green flag, let's go. Come on boys, it's time to put on a show. Caution's out, oh no, to the back of the pack is where we go. Slide jobs, slide ways is how we like to spend most of our days. Bump draft, bumper hook, we knew going in that's the risk we took. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. We're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. No drama, race tough, keep it clean to the end, might be enough. White flag, checker flies, out here with our friends living our best lives. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. Down. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Race tough, keep it clean to the end, might be enough. White flag, checker flies, out here with our friends living our best lives. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RDG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. No lifting, we're not backing down. RTG, the best drivers around. Green flag, let's go. Come on boys, it's time to put on a show. Caution's out, oh no, to the back of the pack is where we go. Slide jobs, slide ways is how we like to spend most of our days. Bump draft, bumper hook, we knew going in that's the risk we took. Pedal to the metal, we've got the throttle down. RTG rolling into your town. Smooth shifting, no lifting, we're not back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Flatout Racing Network's coverage of the 2025 iteration of Rolling Thunder Gaming's Happy Holidays 200. 80 laps around Michigan with the Aero 88 cars. FRN's had the pleasure of calling this race ever since 2021. Have seen 4 different drivers go to victory lane during that span of time. Could we see a 5th here tonight? I'm Seth Cole, alongside of Kyle Matthews and Jack Mitchell. Big field here tonight, Kyle. You've seen that on Thursday nights. Jack, you've seen the Aero 88s for the second half of their 66th season. Kyle, I'll start with you. There's no points on the line. Tonight is just everybody out here having fun. No championship hangs in the balance. It's pretty much bragging rights for next year and try and end out the 2025 year with a victory.
I mean, that's everybody's, I would imagine that's everyone's ideal kind of race. No pressure of points. No championship to race for. Just go out, have fun, and, leave with the bragging rights. Absolutely.
Jack, as I said, Wednesday nights, you've been, along with myself, calling the second half of the Aero 88 series. A lot of familiar names in the field that we saw on a regular basis battling in that series. Would those drivers have a particular advantage coming tonight since we are in that style of car?
I would think so, especially when you look at the 2 names, Jeff Supta, Grant Wesley. Those guys were locked in a very tight battle for the championship in that Aero 88 series, and both of them are in the field here tonight. I think, as a matter of fact, Jeff Supta is starting on the pole, so both of them are definitely probably going to have an advantage, but at the same time, you might see some drivers that maybe were under the radar in that Aero 88 season maybe have a little bit something more to say now that there's no points on the line here tonight.
32 drivers going to take the green flag tonight. Michigan Auto Club, they kind of fall into that gray area in terms of what type of racetrack is it. It races like a speedway, but a lot of drivers also say that it has super speedway type tendencies with the draft. Will track position be important, do you think, here tonight?
I think track position is important almost everywhere we go to, except for, an actual super speedway. So, yeah, track position, being out in clean air, that's always an advantage, and that's always a big thing here at Michigan.
Certainly is, although you definitely also want to make sure that you're doing the right job on your pit stops as well. You want to make sure you stay in contention for as long as you possibly can. Don't want to ruin your good field position because you have a poor pit stop.
And you also want to keep it on the racetrack because you'll see there the drivers left all the way through the corners here on the front straightaway. There's about, I think it was measured to be about 6 to 7 feet of snow. The cars get completely buried if they go down there. As here we go. The Happy Holidays 200 is green. That National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation station wagon takes the start-finish line and will lead the field into turn 1.
No, this is my personal favorite Christmas movie. I think it's the best of all time. So
Never
it's nice
seen
to see
it, still gotta.
Oh, it's a classic.
I'm a Polar Express guy.
Well, they're still even here onto the back straightaway.
Mentioned about 4 different drivers have won this event since we started broadcasting back in 2021. The driver alongside of Supta is Sean Prime in that number 15, former winner from this race back in 2023.
Danny Carroll nearly tried to take it 3 wide there, but he fell back in line.
Supta's going to lead lap number 1.
Look at them fan out there. They were 3 wide, a couple
of
1
might have just gone up in the wall.
I think you're right. And caution is out.
Terry Bombard, maybe?
I'm thinking possibly. He was 19th when he crossed the line. The car is still going in the right direction, so the wall may have saved him and kept him going straight, but there was definitely some skid marks, and Dennis McCarthy is slow out of turn 2, so one would have to assume he also was part of it. First caution of the night. Field is frozen. We do not have race back until 15 laps to go. Supta will bring them back to the caution. And let's go back to turn 1, see what brought out this first yellow. This was going to be a question I was going to ask you guys as well. With it being 80 laps in total, it's a rather lengthy one for a non-points event. And so while we saw the double wide and 3 wide in the early going, you want to make sure that you don't get yourself into trouble like this early on, because you can't win the race on lap 1, but you can definitely lose it.
Slightest bit of contact there with the 11, and we saw him come down there and make a little bit of contact with Terry Bombard. That's what got him out of shape. He's running in the 13th position when this wreck happened, so that could have been a lot bigger than what it was.
Take another look at it here. That's Ron Hagelin. We have two 11s in the field here tonight. Hagelin in his familiar Coca-Cola colors was that middle line car, and then you saw that slight contact with Terry Bombard that I think only just got him up out of the groove. I don't think he made contact with the wall.
Slowly crawling it back to pit road here.
Take one more look from the aerial shot, and this is one of the tough things about a racetrack like Michigan as well, is it's spacious through the center of the corner, it's spacious on the front straight and the back straight, but the entry to the corner and the exit of the corner, everything seems to kind of accordion up. Everybody kind of wants that same piece of real estate. We call it the gray area at a track like this. Relatively minor contact, all things considering, for Dennis McCarthy.
See a good number of pit stops taking place here this early on, and it's like Randy Luigi having a little bit of an issue there on pit road.
Yeah, looks like he got into the back of Brian Lovell. Couldn't tell if he was having trouble getting out of his pit stall or maybe a little wheel spin coming out of pit lane. Put him into the back of the 044.
Interesting incident to have happen on pit road right then and there, but he's still able to keep it clean for the most part. And yeah, to your point earlier, Seth, it's still very early on in this race. I don't think you really need to be trying anything crazy adventurous this early on. We're not even on lap 5 yet, so
it looks like about half the field came down pit road.
Yeah, when they cross the start finish line, our telemetry should tell us exactly how many drivers hit pit lane there. One of the things I love about this particular race as well, we already documented about Jeff Supta's car. Here is all the Christmas-themed paint schemes that they have in the field. You've got the Toys for Tots on the number 1 of Jeremy Jeffries. Put this exact same car in victory lane 3 years ago in 2022. The other former winner that's in the field here tonight, the defending winner just above him there, and that's number 88, Grant Wesley, defending winner from last year. The driver that is not in the field here tonight, that is a former winner, was the first Happy Holidays 200 race that we broadcasted back in 2021. That was Jim Gloud that went to victory lane in the 72 car. How about Kelly Causey's car here? The Abominable Snowman from
that's what that is.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer featured on his 00.
I couldn't see that. This is the first I've seen the hood. I couldn't tell what that was on the side where the 00 is.
I think it's supposed to be the eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting shape of a car number there, but that looks like the eyes.
Nice incorporation of the classic character into the paint scheme of Kelly Causey's car. We'll be looking at some of these other ones here as well during the course of the evening.
A lot of good-looking paint schemes in the field. I'm guessing Rodney Solins painted a lot of these.
Oh, I would not doubt it.
Yeah, I see there's like a Christmas wreath on the front bumper of somebody's car a little bit further back. So
that's John Godfrey's car there.
Love the special event cars. Love the special event paint schemes here. Everybody really goes all out for this.
So it looks like, to your point, Kyle, all but the top 11 drivers came to pit lane under this caution. Pat McCarskey back there in that red and black 197, the last of those that stayed out. Keith Bynum to his outside, restarting in 12th. The first one out there that came to pit road, and it looks like, based off of where certain drivers started this race, there was a whole plethora of strategies, some going with fuel only, some taking only 2 tires, and quite a number taking 4. So if we go into a long run, it'd be interesting to see how those different strategies vary out during the course of potential green flag pit stops.
Well, over the years and races here at Michigan, at least, actual NASCAR, we've seen so many of them come down to fuel mileage, and they might be thinking the same thing here for tonight, so we'll see how all this plays out.
Did we say it was early on? They need to settle down. We almost had them 4 wide going into turn 1 here on this restart.
That's one of the reasons drivers love racing at Michigan International Speedway. It's one of my favorite tracks as well. It's just it's such a wide track, so many, multi-grooves. You can run high, you can run in the middle, you can run down low. You could even create a 4th groove if you see enough room there. So it's just a real fan favorite when it comes to the drivers in Michigan.
I mean, you said it. I love this track. I mean, just about every other reason why you just mentioned it right there. This track is very fun. I enjoy watching it every year, and it looks like the Aero 88 cars are delivering so far.
As you said, multi-groove. You see Sean Prime still holding tough in that outside line against Denny Carroll. That's Greg Lovell right behind Denny on the inside line. Josh Metallic up on the top side in the 39. Usually inside line gets the better run into the corner, but then through the center of the corner off as the car starts to tighten up. Outside line seems to get that momentum, and then they hope that the draft and the straight line speed will help carry that all the way, whether they're getting ready to enter into turn 1 here on the front straightaway or turn 3 over on the backstretch.
This is a bit of deja vu for me and you, Seth. I mean, Jeff Supta at the front of the field, not quite pulling away yet, but so far he's been out front to start most of this race.
And something as well that I was noticing out of him is leading the opening stages of this race. He's been driving maybe more of a defensive line every time they come out of turn 4 rather than an offensive line, realizing that the draft, the slipstream, can very easily bring Denny Carroll to his back bumper to try and make a move. Looks like Supta's kind of conceding the outside line, saying, hey, if you want to take the longer way around to get around me, go right ahead. I'm going to make sure you do not get to my left rear quarter panel before we get to the entry of the corner.
And Carroll was thinking about it too. He was thinking about maybe moving up to the high side while they were getting a bit of a run there, but that run quickly went away, so Carroll's going to fall back in line for now, maybe try again later.
Side by side for third here, the 880 of Greg Lovell, and to his outside, the 15 of Sean Prime. As the top two have broken free of the side by side racing.
A couple of former winners of this event from the last 3 seasons, about to be side by side if Jeremy Jeffries can get up alongside of Sean Prime. Right behind them, Richard Martin cautions out as the field slows into 1, second caution of the night. And maybe Cy Jones? I don't see anybody else in trouble.
Could be another moment where a car maybe just got sideways but didn't really have a whole lot of contact.
I have a sneaking suspicion I may know what this caution is. We'll have to see if I'm correct. I'm noticing that the 024 of Dennis McCarthy, who was involved in the first caution, is out of the race, and this may be a phantom yellow. We'll have to see if my suspicion is correct or if indeed there was someone that had an incident. Oh!
Well, it was Dennis McCarthy.
Yeah,
Okay.
So not a phantom yellow.
I think he might have just immediately retired after this.
Oh, what, something?
Did the engine just let go on you right there?
That was...
What
yeah,
in the world?
Saw that puff of smoke come out of his car before he lost control.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh! Hit the snowbank there on the entry to pit lane infield and everything.
Yeah, that is a bit confusing to me. I think the engine might have just... I want to hear the in-car audio perhaps, but I think the engine just died on him right here in this
right there.
corner. Yeah, right there.
That does not look like brake smoke.
Like Cody Lamas nearly got into him there, and right into that.
Could it have been a tire going down too?
Not like that. If a tire goes down, normally you'd see the car bogged down. I didn't really see that. We'll go on board. Let's listen in.
This should tell the tale right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can see right there with the windshield, the smoke coming in from the hood.
Yep. A little bit harder to tell from out of the car, but in the car and with the audio, you can clearly tell that's the engine.
Wow.
That is a tough break so early on in the race. I mean, you said it earlier, you can't win the race on the first lap, but you can certainly lose it. That's absolutely what happened there.
Like everybody's on pit road. Denny Carroll, it's like he just won the race off.
Slow stop a little bit for Supta.
A couple of 2-tire stops there, I believe, for both Greg Lovell and Jeremy Jeffries. Supta going to come out in 4th, it looks like, with a 4-tire stop. And a couple going to actually stay out here during this caution period, including Brian Lovell, Bob Seminara, and Cody Lamas. We'll see if they look to keep this track position or will they be coming to pit road. I mean, the only thing that I could see this as a strategy play is if you're trying to have a little bit more fuel. As we said, there's no points on the line, so there's no lap-led bonus point here. And credit to Dennis McCarthy there as well, because he wasn't running dead last. There was oncoming traffic as that engine let go. That's one of those type of situations where there's absolutely no warning whatsoever that you have to act on the fly, and pretty good hands there. I know he spun out, but he did a good job of making sure that he got the car up out of the way of the oncoming traffic. So that could have been a lot worse with where he was positioned in the field.
So Lovell and Cody are coming down pit road. Seminara stays out.
It's Chuck
Other cars.
Fleur, Ulysses Sandoval, Pat McCarskey I see further back there as well coming in. And it looks like Seminara is going to inherit the lead as the lights go out. So interesting call here.
Only about 12 laps on the tires. I don't know how long they can go on fuel, but
Yeah, going to be kind of hard to tell what the window is with 2 early cautions. I think a lot of people might be hoping for some longer green flag runs here so that we can get a better estimate on how long they can go before needing a pit stop for fuel at the very least.
If I had to make a guesstimation, maybe between 25 to 30, just kind of trying to go off the numbers of what we know on Thursday nights at a little over 2.5 mile racetrack. We know that that's about 19 to 20 laps. This racetrack, 2 miles in length. The other factor is a lot of those super speedway races, they're, for the most part, full throttle. Here, you can't go full throttle in these corners, especially on the long run, or else you're going to overcook that right front. It's going to push up the racetrack. So you definitely have to feather the throttle on entry. So I'd be generous and say maybe about 30 laps. Maybe the max these drivers can go. But hey, if we get into a long green flag run, they may have the opportunity to prove me wrong.
We shall see.
Seminara was one of the last drivers to take time during qualifying this evening. Started 22nd off the grid. Gains a lot of track position with this strategy as he'll put us back under green. Denny Carroll to his outside. Then Greg Lovell, who, whoa, really stacked up that inside line. Sean Prime will cross over Jeff Supta now for third going into 1 as Carroll and Seminara remain side by side for the lead.
interested to see if Seminara can stay up front here, or will the fresh tires behind him prevail.
Who else has entered up into the picture here? That brown, yellow, and white number 84 Nissan of Dante Ricky. Unofficially right now in the 4th position as he tries to draw alongside Denny Carroll to move up onto the podium. Mentioned about checking in on some other Christmas paint schemes in the field. You documented on it, Jack, there, the wreath on the front. I don't know if that is really going to be all that smart if you're trying to get clean air into the engine. Seems like that's kind of counterproductive, but nonetheless.
I don't know if it could give you any downforce either, so I don't know what the...
If anything, you're getting pine needles in there. I don't know if pine needles would actually affect the engine or not.
That sounds bad for the engine. I would not risk putting pine needles there.
It's like Sean Prime has taken the lead.
Was able to get to the inside there of Bob Seminara. That could be the advantage of fresher tires. And we obviously end up seeing during the course of a long run the older tires go away, the newer tires come to the forefront, but we can also, in the early going, when you're on old tires and they've cooled down, it's hard to find grip. Car wants to slide up the racetrack, and that might have opened up the door for Prime to go on by. Now Dante Ricky going to go to the point, and seems like after they were able to wrestle Supta out of the race lead, nobody's been able to keep the top spot since we went back green.
Dante Ricky currently in the lead right now, but he's getting pressure from right behind him. Getting a little bit of a gap. Oh, almost hit the wall in that corner.
One thing about these Aero 88 cars, there's a lot of room for creativity, as we saw not only with paint schemes, but also with manufacturers there. A Nissan Maxima out in front for Dante Ricky, now going to give way to the Pontiac Grand Prix of Richard Martin.
Probably the most iconic paint scheme in the history of NASCAR, just going to the lead right there. Richard Martin taking the Kings colors to the front. STP Pontiac. Got the Gray Ghost right behind him. Josh Metallic.
Saw Richard Martin a few weeks ago pull off a fuel strategy heist on Thursday nights, picking up a victory during the playoffs, won the third playoff race that put a lot more emphasis on the then Elite Eight to have to point their way into the Final Four. Well, we're down to our Final Five, and after a couple of issues that took place this past Thursday night, sure to join us this upcoming Thursday evening for the epic finale to season 66 of the Talladega Challenge Series. One race will decide it all. Josh Metallic, a part of that championship fight, along with Denny Carroll, who right now is in that third position.
Looking forward to that race. You and I will call that this Thursday, along with Blaine Donlin of Tarnation TV. So it's going to be a fun night.
We also can give a little bit of news here this evening. Been confirmed. The simulcast of Tarnation TV and Flatout Racing Network will return for season 67 of the Talladega Challenge Series. There's that other 11 car we were talking about, that red Coca-Cola machine back there of Ron Hagelin. It's one of those blink twice and you'll miss. I'm so used to him being in a triple 11. It's like something is missing here on this race car.
Two of the ones merged together.
They did. Maybe the third one is a makeshift stocking on the fireplace right now in the Hagelin household as caution is out. Third time tonight that the flag will wave over this field. Josh Metallic going to bring them back to green. And maybe some issues for the 21 of Randy Waugh.
Luigi.
Take a look and see if we can find out what exactly happened here. This caution coming out just past the quarter mark. Looks like this was on the front straightaway, three wide battle. Roughly around 15th place, looks like. Ooh, that's a tight spot.
Oh,
Wow.
man. Randy Waugh pretty lucky that nothing bigger came out of that one. You're stuck in the middle of a three-wide sandwich right there, and there's one car that's veering up the track, one car veering down, and next thing you know, he's going around.
Didn't hit anything either, just looped it around and kept on going. Kept it out of the snow.
Had a great run going there on Keith Bynum in turn. He had Terry Bombard to his left rear quarter panel, and that's one of the toughest things to do as well. Michigan is known as a momentum racetrack, and sometimes it can be difficult to gauge just exactly when you're in a three wide like that. How much momentum do the other lines around me have? I think he thought he maybe had enough momentum on Terry he could pull down in front of him while making the move on the 63.
This caution has got to be a good break for Bob Seminara. We saw him stay out under that last caution. Was the leader on the restart. Got some track position and.
Randy Waugh, I thought I saw that incident a little bit differently before we looked at it overhead, and it looked like Randy Waugh was the car that was kind of moving its way down the track.
And you saw the 11 of Jeff Supta had to get on the brakes to avoid hitting him. Jeff was kind of towards the rear of the field after starting this race from the pole position, so we'll see if he's able to make his way back up here at some point, as a couple of drivers going to stay out here. Almost looks like, I'm assuming that they run the same type of rules that they do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, where the driver that claims responsibility stays out the first lap, comes to pit road the second lap, and I'm a little confused, if this is indeed the case, why the 10 would be claiming that wreck. But it looks like that is the case. Metallic's team looks like they held serve off of pit road, so I believe these three up ahead of him are going to come to pit lane this time, and Metallic will cycle back to the front. Looks like like Richard Martin, Greg Lovell, going to be the top 3 when we get ready to go back green. It's a particular car in the field. There he is. You want to talk about another Christmas classic? If Brian Schilling wins tonight's race, do we say that he stole it?
I mean,
If it's in a photo finish, maybe.
or maybe if it comes down to fuel mileage, we all know how good Brian Schilling is when it comes to saving fuel. So, I mean,
You guys got to help me out. I know the Grinch. What's the name of the dog that's featured there on the
Max.
Max, that's
yes.
who it is. I couldn't pull it in. Brian Schilling featuring the character at Universal Studios that I think gets the longest queue time in meet and greet.
don't really know. I've only been there during the summer. I don't know how it is during the winter, during Christmas time. So,
Yeah, I need to check it out during Christmas time.
Trying to see if we can zoom in here on this 26. Can't quite tell what the sponsorship is there on the Billy Elliser car.
I like the colors of it.
It
though.
is a
Always
beautiful
like
color scheme.
I always like that light blue and white combination. Always looks good.
Kind of almost reminds me of the Jimmy Spencer Kmart car.
Yeah, especially with the number font.
Looks like the sponsor is Plug.
Plug something.
Not sure exactly what that is. But it does look wintry there with the ice blue and the snowy white. As we're doubled up and ready to go back green. Pace car makes the left-hand turn onto pit road, and lap 24 will go up on the board for Josh Metallic.
Good restart, too. He got away from the bottom pretty quickly. That's going to open the door, actually, for Denny Carroll as well to get in line there on the bottom.
It's like Greg Lovell did not get a very good start there, and allowed a couple drivers on the outside to get by.
It's the second time he hasn't gotten a decent jump, as I almost wonder, I don't think he's missing a gear. I think he would have lost a lot more ground than that, maybe just not able to time these restarts, and I think the caution may be back out again. Yes, it is. Oh, pole sitter Jeff Supta. A little bit of a problem back here over in turn 1. And I wonder if maybe this might have had to do with what happened up at the front. Maybe some stack up. Yeah, you see some skid marks there on the high side going into turn 1.
Hasn't exactly been the greatest recovery effort from Supta after he started from the pole. He was losing a few positions on the first round of pit stops.
Oh, something happened to the 21.
Oh,
And then he got sideswiped right there by, it looked like the 28.
I think the accordion effect came into play there. We were seeing a lot of cars try to get as low as they could when they saw a couple of slow cars on the top side, and then that brush by from, you said, I think it was the 28 is what led him spinning around.
I'm going to focus on the 21 of Randy Waugh. Let's see if our telemetry shows us anything here. Shifts up to 4th gear, and it's just like the car started losing power. It wasn't like an abrupt halt like he had lost a gear. It was like a slow, methodic fall back. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong there. Though now they're showing him in 4th gear, or in 3rd gear, so maybe did he lose 4th gear?
Very well could have right
Might
there.
need another listen.
Let's look from the back of the 21 and see if we can hear in anything in the shifting. Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Garrett, right when he got the 4th gear, it was just flat after that,
I was going to mention, too, keep an eye on him, because Randy in the Aero 88 series, he typically has moments where early or midway through the race, he suffers some sort of an incident, but then manages to rein it back in and score a top 10 or a top 5 out of it. But that does not look like it'll be the case here today.
I think he may have retired from the race there.
Engine gearbox is what we are seeing on the scoring pylon. going to take him out of this race early. He'll finish 31st. Dennis McCarthy, we already documented, out of the race. Will finish in 32nd.
And
So that's going
McCarthy
to
out
leave
of
us
the
with
race.
30 drivers still left. Potential problems for the 4 of Brian Schilling. Very lengthy stay on pit road. Just now leaving. Looks like he will stay on the lead lap. You see featured down in the bottom right of our screen. It's been a pretty tough 2025 for RTG's community here. Last couple of years, as a matter of fact. You'll see the decals memorializing a number of individuals that we've seen race here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursday nights in Rolling Thunder Gaming, including David Boneskin, who we lost earlier on this year, Wiley Coate, who we lost last year, Robbie Nisus, who we lost, I believe it was a couple of years ago as well, and then most recently, Bob Dixon. So obviously a lot of these drivers here tonight, you got to think not only running out here for themselves, but maybe running for a driver or drivers in particular as well. I mean, we talk about the fact that there's no points on the line in these type of races. A lot of drivers kind of utilize trying to win a race in memoriam of somebody as some motivation in these type of a race as well.
It's going to be, as you said, extra motivation. I mean, you're going to want to try and race as hard as you can, get the win in memory of somebody who might have been one of your good friends here on race day, and there are certainly a lot of them. I mean, that's something in my short time here with FRN. I've seen a whole lot of unity between these guys. You know, they don't really find a lot of that outside of sim racing, but everybody likes to get together over this game. Real life friendships are made because of it, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
I can definitely attest to that. That, especially real life friendships being made.
Getting ready to go back green here. Our 4th restart of the night. Nearing 30 laps into tonight's Happy Holidays 200. Josh Metallic, who's led 8 laps so far, now will put 9 on the board, so he'll get us back under green. Another great launch from that inside line. And we're getting split 3 wide back there. That's the 880 of Greg Lovell again. I'm almost wondering that maybe he's lost 3rd gear. I didn't think it was a gear issue like earlier, but now it's been more and more consistent and getting taken 3 wide in the middle. I think he's missing 3rd gear.
Really surprised at all the mechanical issues we've seen so far in this race. We saw, we just saw what happened to Randy Wall, and then we saw
you
Dennis.
can't say it normally anymore,
Yeah,
can
He's
you?
trying.
I know, I was trying. I blame Michael, but like I was trying to say though, 21 had an engine failure or a gearbox failure in this case, and then we saw the 24 of Dennis McCarthy also have an engine failure. So I really was not expecting to see all the mechanical issues we've seen so far.
It's obviously something that all these guys have to have in the back of their minds here as we progress further into this race, as they were 3 wide back here around Bob Seminara. They've now settled out to double wide, and they're getting racy up here at the front too. Grant Wesley, for a brief moment, went down behind Denny Carroll on the back straightaway, right between him and Glenn Harris in that iconic black number 8, the Intimidator throwback, but now goes back up to the top side there with Demar. That's going to open up the door for Jeremy Jeffries to try and make some forward progress on that inside line as he draws up to the back bumper of the 41.
And there you see right there why a lot of people look at Michigan as a bit of a super speedway right there. Nobody was behind the 41 of Denny Carroll, and we saw everybody on that outside line just go right on by him. And now he's got Jeremy Jeffries right behind him, trying to work their way back up there.
Another way that it's like a super speedway, maybe one of the few speedway racetracks where you're willing to push somebody. You saw the bumpers lock up right there between Denny Carroll and Jeremy Jeffries, and as soon as Carroll got clear the nose of Glenn Harris, moved right up in front of him to that top side. Greg Palmer now trying to make his way up into the top 5, just moved his way around the outside of Jeremy Jeffries to move into P6. Maybe Glenn Harris got the wall a little bit there down the middle of the back straightaway.
Carroll on I'm noticing it that pretty early on in this race, he's been very adventurous in here. He's not really committed to the top of the bottom. He's staying in front of whatever line is getting a run, and that can be a good thing when you're trying to work your way through the field. But at the same time, when you get up front, it might be a bit more of a difficult challenge.
See Greg Lovell right there behind the one of Jeremy Jeffries. He's back up to speed and everything. So yeah, it's probably got to be a looks like he may have lost. He had to have lost a gear on a restart or something, because it's not, that's the only time we're seeing him really struggle is on these restarts.
So I was going to say, if you're Greg Lovell, you'd probably like to see this race go green the rest of the way so you don't have to worry about restarts, but then kind of thinking about that in retrospect, exactly, trying to get up to speed from pit stops, and he's got an early pit stall as well. He qualified 4th, so he's down towards the exit pit lane. Not very easy to get a launch when you've got some pit stall that far down when you're pitting under green flag conditions. Drivers love it when they have the number 1 pit stall under caution, not so much when it's green flag pit stops. Greg Palmer wants to get a little adventurous. Showed the nose there on Denny Carroll. Carroll goes down to block it. One difference between this type of a racetrack and a super speedway as well is blocking. When you're at a super speedway, you're blocking the run. You're blocking the momentum. Here, you're trying to put dirty air down in the nose of the car behind you, so that way they're not able to get back to the throttle through the center to be able to make a move on you on the straightaways.
And usually at a track like this, it's a non-super speedway. You throw a block, you're just affecting just one car behind you usually. But if you throw a block at a super speedway, you're affecting everybody in that particular line. So not quite as a risky move at a track like Michigan than say a track like Talladega is.
Contact made right there between Greg Palmer and Greg Lovell. They were entering into turn 1. Lovell went up and actually bounced off the wall. I believe it is moderate damage tonight, so I don't think that a hit like that's really going to affect the 880 for the remainder of this race. But as mentioned, this is a momentum racetrack. Even the slightest brush to the wall, you could find yourself losing positions on the racetrack. Just those 2, 3, 4 mile per hour difference can be massive in terms of whether you're going forward or going backwards.
Now Palmer's going to go to the outside this time. Got a good run.
Ooh.
Oh, and he gets the wall.
I was going to say, I was wondering if Greg was going to give him a lot of space after the two of them made contact a couple laps earlier, and I think the answer right there was no. Ooh, Greg way up out of the groove. That's another thing about non-points races. Someone rubs you the wrong way, since there's no points on the line, maybe not as much repercussions for racing that guy just a little bit harder than you were if there were still a number of races left to go in the season.
That's true.
Cody Lamas up here, running in the 12th position.
Cody racing? What is this?
I know. We're not used
Absolute
to seeing,
stunner.
not used to seeing this.
This
on
just
Thursday
in,
nights,
the
but
Panthers are not at home tonight. But they are featured
That's
on
how
his
you know
race
he's
car.
in the race. The Panthers are not playing a home game.
Now Cody in the 12th position. As we work our way back up here to the front, Josh Metallic continues to lead. I mentioned about the fact that there's a high percentage chance that we could have a 5th different driver go to victory lane in this event since we started broadcasting them back in 2021. However, the past 3 drivers to go to victory lane here in the past 3 years, they are all now running up inside of the top 5. Wesley in 2nd, Jeffries in 4th, and Sean Prime right behind him in 5th.
Jeremy Jeffries was the adventurous one there. Caution is back out.
Drivers going to slowly start decreasing their speed as the field is frozen, making their way back to the start-finish line. Looks like Glenn Harris, who was having a good run. He was up there inside of the top 10. Looks like he had a problem potentially on the back straightaway. Don't see any visible damage on his race car, but we'll take a look and see what happened to him. Bring out the caution for the 5th time here tonight, and those skid marks on the back straightaway might be a little precursor into telling the tale.
Looks like it might have just been a spin. I mean, we've seen a couple incidents like that where it was just a spin and car did not make contact with anything else. We'll have to look at the replay just to be sure.
This is coming out of turn 2. Ooh.
Rushes the wall there.
Got the
Oh,
wall,
yeah,
and
then he gets bumped.
44 hit the wall, caused him to get out of the throttle, and the 44 was right there and got into the back of him.
Gotta take care of that right front tire at a track like this. You start heating that up, car's gonna get super tight. And like we saw right there, it's gonna brush the wall. And I mean, look at the space that there is between Glenn Harris and even the car in front of him, Cody Lamas. So there's some clean air getting to the nose of that 8, and it just plows up off the corner there. Wow, Brian Schilling.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh.
was about to say that.
The reflexes on Schilling there were insane. That could have been a disaster.
That's a little too close for comfort right there if you're Brian Schilling.
Chuck McClure was right behind that as well. There's a camera shot that we normally don't show on a race car, but watch this. This is the right side of Brian Schilling's car.
Oh,
Hello. Great job of keeping it together. So far here tonight, I'm not trying to jinx it, just for the record, we've not really had multi-car incidents. Most of what we've had have been single cars. Been doing a great job of saving them. I mean, even right there for Glenn Harris, hard on the brakes. I'm sure he had to come to pit road for some fresh Goodyears, but no contact with the wall. We've had, for the most part, relatively harmless spins here in the first half of this race. But now we
Well,
cross
if we
the
have-
threshold into where the pay window's starting to open.
Absolutely.
Well, if we do end up having a pretty good multi-car wreck, Seth, just go down to the race room and claim the caution on you.
You know what? I will.
That way.
Claim on the 44.
A lot of these wrecks, they've been single car incidents, but definitely some close calls. So maybe drivers could be asking Santa for some new pairs of underwear this year for Christmas.
Looks like Jeff Supta stayed out. Glenn Harris as well. Metallic going to go back to the point. Grant Wesley going to drive up alongside of him in second place. Sean Prime, Richard Martin, and it looks like Denny Carroll going to be the top 5 on this upcoming restart. So if my math is correct, these drivers will have to make one more trip to pit road before the conclusion of this one. And with what we saw there out of Glenn Harris, I almost wonder if it'll be more out of a necessity for tires than it really will be for fuel.
Getting some more deja vu to the end of the Aero 88 season where drivers were making these late pit stops after only about, 30 laps or something like that for tires because the right front tire was getting worn down so quickly.
So again, working our 5th caution of the night. 32 drivers took the green flag. 30 of them are still running, all on the lead lap. Bit of a question mark whether the ton-up Terry Bombard is up to speed or not. I did notice when we followed that spin by Glenn Harris, Terry was a long ways back from the field. So we'll check in on him during this restart as well, see if that car might be off the pace. 2 drivers out of the race at this point in time, that being the 21 of Randy Waugh, and the 32nd, the 024 of Dennis McCarthy. Second half of this race getting ready to go green. I don't know if it means anything here tonight, but to give you a sense of the speed these drivers are carrying, fastest lap of the race so far tonight, 38.616, equating to 186.3 miles per hour, laid down by Ulysses Sandoval.
It's another way the draft comes into play back there. Back there in the draft, you're
There it is
able to
again with the
get a better lap down. But yeah, saw once again Greg Lovell. So
Yeah, that is definitely a third gear missing. Was, I believe, in 6th for that restart. He's right now somewhere outside of the top 10, maybe barely inside of the top 15 as Greg Palmer got loose right there in the middle of the corner. Bounced off the side of John Godfrey. Big hit for Andre Charest. Mark Paglia. And there's the caution I need to claim. Billy Elliser, Pat McCarskey, Glenn Harris, Jeff Supta all getting bits and pieces of this as well.
Still wrecking, it looks like.
I think this was the byproduct of cold, newer tires. The 22 of Greg Palmer, I caught him at the top of the screen. That thing was all sorts of sideways through the center of 3 and 4. Watch this again. This looks perfectly normal going to the entry of the corner, and right there, I'm wondering.
Steps out from under him there.
I wonder if he had to lift for the stack up in front of him, and maybe the back end of the car got light as a result.
I was gonna say, I was keeping an eye on the cars ahead of him because it looked like there might have been a little bit of a stack up. I was wondering maybe he made a bit of contact, but no, it looked like you said he might have just lifted, lost that little bit of speed, and then lost it from underneath him.
Big hits for some other drivers, including Mark Paglia and Andre Charest, who were about 6, 7, 8 cars behind the 22. Nowhere to go. Andre gets up into Mark. Doug Cady got involved. I didn't see the 007 get a piece of it.
The 46 went over Billy Elliser.
Just got a different angle of that sponsor that we couldn't figure out what it was. That could be his day done. He's driving it for now.
Yeah, we'll have to see if there's any roof damage on that car. Just barely clips the 197 of Pat McCarskey, and then Glenn Harris. Man, normally when we see a car flip over, it's a violent hit. That was a little tap from Harris, and it was enough.
That was the tamest flip I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know about Tanis, because I've seen cars flip on pit road before, but for an on-track incident that was not on pit road, that was definitely a lot more tame than we're used to.
You have to wonder if maybe a little bit of grip flip came into play there. Oh, he had his left sides were down the apron, his right sides were up on the racetrack, so
yeah,
that might have played a part.
Had all that air underneath him there because of the difference in the banking and the apron of the racetrack, and that was enough to send him up and over.
We mentioned about that high bank of snow here on the front straightaway. You saw the 197 of Pat McCarskey disappear into it as he backed his race car up. Let's watch Doug Cady in the 007. He took a pretty good shot here from Andre Charest. And the 11 of Jeff Supta is going to give us a pretty good look of what happened up ahead as well. It was kind of riding towards the back. This is what he saw.
It's not the worst thing Clark Griswold has ever driven in.
So that brings out the caution for the 6th time tonight. I'll make a note here. That was the broadcaster's fault.
Yeah, just put in the.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to pluralize it. Broadcaster fault. Okay?
Broadcaster.
Yeah, that's on me. To pull our truth. That's on me. My bad.
Just put in the chat 44 claim.
Yep.
Commentators curse.
So they're already doubled up, ready to go. Doesn't look like anybody out of the race after that. 7 of Cy Jones currently a lap down. Don't remember seeing him get involved in that wreck, but he somehow lost a lap here under pacing.
I do remember a little bit earlier, I don't know if it was under this caution or the previous one, there was one where he was kind of sitting still on pit road when they were within 1 to green, so I feel like that might have had something to do with it.
So we'll see if he would have been the free pass or if he'll have to wait for a potential future yellow to get the lucky dog. 30 drivers running, 29 of them on the lead lap, as Josh Metallic has been a lap leading machine. 26 now, going on 27 circuits out in front. One of two drivers that has had double-digit laps led here tonight, Jeff Supta being the only other one, and he led 10 in the early going.
I mean, if memory serves me correctly, I'm pretty sure Josh Metallic was in the conversation for that win and the finale at Walt Disney World for the Area 88 series. So Josh definitely knows what it takes to be up at the front of this race or this field for a long period of time. We'll see if he can keep that consistency going, or if we maybe have a little bit of a hot potato session with the lead again.
Not quite as good a launch this time as he got the previous couple of restarts. Sean Prime stayed alongside of him there on that outside through 1 and 2.
He's getting a good push there from Grant Wesley, though. That's going to push him out in front.
Speaking of consistent in the Aero 88 series, here comes Grant Wesley.
Had 4 victories during the course of this most recent season of the Aero 88 series. All 4 of those wins were in a row. He nearly swept the month of October. If it had had 4 dates, he would have. It had 5 dates, unfortunately for him. Came up runner-up for the championship to Jeff Supta.
Denny Carroll almost got into the door of the 43 of Richard Martin.
Looking at the starting lineup, some drivers that elected to start out back that have worked their way forward. Cody Lamas, one of them, as he swings around Richard Martin to pick up the 5th spot. Started this race from 31st place. That would have been next to last. Brian Schilling not that far behind him. Last time by, scored in the 8th position. Started this race from 25th, so they've done a nice job of slowly, methodically working their way forward.
Sean Prime just got a nice bump there from Denny Carroll. That should propel him out in front of Wesley to clear him for the 2nd spot.
Gonna go up to the high side, I think, for a moment. I'm not actually sure which lane he's committed to just yet. But Prime definitely hoping that he can get a run here. Yeah, he's gonna get on the inside of the 39.
Look at the launch he got down the front straightaway there. And again, to your point, I think that was all in pretty much result of the push from behind, choosing that inside line, maybe the momentum more with Denny Carroll and maybe like a bubble push. You can't see it, but may have been enough to propel him that extra couple miles per hour he needed to clear Metallic before they even got through the center of the corner.
Now Denny Carroll has gotten by Metallic, so Metallic has fallen back to 3rd.
Looks like a 3rd driver has gone behind the wall. We saw that flip by Billy Elliser in this most recent yellow. He will join Randy Wadez McCarthy in the garage area, finished 30th here tonight. Surprisingly, though, the reason for retirement, of all things, engine gearbox. Not what I would have expected the reason for retirement to be after his adventure out of turn 4.
We were nearly looking 3 wide there for a second. Denny Carroll going to power his way towards the front. I think the caution's back out, actually.
It is. Yep, yellow flag's out, field's frozen. Prime was ahead of Carroll at the time that the yellow flew.
That was shaping up to be a tight battle for the lead.
Coming to complete lap number 50 right now.
I'd say we're good to make it on fuel if they come to pit road this time. And may have been another incident for our pole sitter. Take a look and see. Yeah, indeed, on the back straightaway. Oh, contact up ahead of Supta. That's Bombard getting into Hagelin, and then everyone just kind of scatters in the back straightaway. Paglia gets Supta. Palmer gets Bombard.
Whoa! Like somebody else got into Supta. He almost went for a ride right there.
Does the station wagon drift in the movie?
It drives underneath. It literally drives underneath a semi, but
I
am very curious as to how that would work, but you know the movie will probably tell the tale.
Glenn Harris also got a piece of that. There you see Palmer in the 22. Right side's coming up off the ground there for Supta.
Sure, Jeff Supta probably feels like Clark Griswold right now. Absolutely nothing going right for him here as of late.
And you mentioned about track position and how important it is. Supta was out in front, led 10 laps of this race from the pole position, then got himself back in traffic, and we've been mentioning him a lot, getting involved in the last couple of yellows here. Paglia got the right rear quarter panel of Jeff Supta there. It's about, I believe, 5 drivers collected up in this one. Again, nobody really hitting any walls significantly. Some minor contact, kind of chain reaction contact, if you will, there on the back straightaway. So everybody should be still able to remain competitive. And I believe this is where the lead is going to cycle out to Sean Prime. And look who may have jumped up to second. I don't know what strategy play this was, but...
It mentioned earlier that he had run the fastest lap of the race, and not too certain what the strategy is here, but for now, it could have paid off.
My only assumption is that this potentially was a fuel-only stop, and everybody else around him took 4, though Bob Seminara is still up here as well. He might have actually gone with fuel-only as well. Pat Makarski actually staying out here. He did not pit under this caution period, and he will be the new race leader. Now, again, if my math is correct, I do not believe he can make it on fuel the rest of the way. Everybody else, provided they filled up the tank, I think should. But what's going to be interesting about this restart here as well is you look back, Josh Metallic, who's led the most laps tonight, 30 circuits out in front. Now he's up there on the outside of row 4 in the 8th position. He's not going to have the benefit of clean air that he had in the early going of this race. Denny Carroll, Grant Wesley, all these drivers going to be boxed in a little bit here. Going to have to be patient in how they make their way through these other drivers. Maybe take advantage if they do indeed have the tire advantage on the others in front of them.
Well, this is definitely going to be one of the more interesting restarts that we've had on the day. Some drivers that have not really been anywhere near the front of the field, so be really curious to see how long their cars will be able to last up at the front.
So Ulysses Sandoval going to restart in the 4th position. This is never mind. I don't know what happened there, but
late audible call to pit road.
Maybe he didn't realize how low he could have been on fuel or something like that.
Not sure.
Look at Prime, going to make it 3 wide on the start here. Pat Makarski did not get a good restart.
Now they're stacked 3 around the 5th position. Dante Ricky, left side tire is down on that yellow line. Looks like they get that settled out off the exit of turn 2. Side by side for the lead. Prime alongside of Seminara. Prime, I believe, does have a tire advantage here in this battle. Oh, contact!
Oh!
Seminara is going around, and a lot of them are.
Boy.
Carroll's around. There's
Sullins, Brian Lovell. There's a bunch of them in the grass. I can't tell who they are. Dante Ricky, Denny Carroll just got a big hit from somebody.
Oh, boy,
Someone's
somebody
upside down.
the 75.
Andre Charest. Brian Lovell, I think he
Man.
got hit out into the snow.
Just
What in the
big
world
one right
happened
there.
here?
Back end of Ronnie Sullins is all crunched up. Doug Cady leaving the scene.
That was a wild one because at first it looked like maybe that wreck was only going to happen at one part of the field, and then they kind of avoided another decent chunk of cars before another part of the field got involved. We'll have to go back and look just to make sure, but that was crazy.
I think we had 3 wrecks in 3 different areas of the field. It all, I think, stems from this contact at the front. Samanera trying to hold off Sean Prime. Looked like from that camera shot, we'll go for an aerial shot, like he may have gotten loose and turned down the track into Sean Prime, and then everything we see here, I think, was all in reaction to the 712 bouncing off the wall, everybody trying to scatter to make sure that he didn't come down into their path.
The next car I saw go around was a 75.
Andre was quite a ways back. He was around 16th place. It's Ron Hagelin that gets into him.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, that's a big hit for Terry Bombard.
Denny Carroll, I didn't see what happened to him.
Yeah, Denny Carroll was already around there. And big hit there. That was Jeff Supta again.
Some massive hits in this one. We'll go up to the 41 of Denny Carroll, who was in the 3rd position at the time, well, battling for 3rd with Grant Wesley. Ooh, he makes a little contact with Grant.
That
That gets
loose.
him loose.
Yeah, I got him loose there. And
I think the same thing that happened to Greg Palmer earlier in the race. It just went around on him right there, and there's the contact with 75, and
There's a blue roof that went spinning there right there. I think that might be Paglia. It's hard to tell. I think that's the 28's roof
a lot
number.
of snow in the infield. Not used to this.
No. Let's find the 38 of Rodney Sullins. He had his back end pretty well crunched up. Just gets clipped by Brian Lovell. Gets Doug Cady.
Nearly clear of Doug Cady there.
Oh, no. I think he hit one of those invisible walls down there in the snow.
That is an especially tough break, too, especially at this track where it's all decorated for the theme race. You don't really see anything there. And I mean, it's an invisible wall, so you're not going to see it anyway, but...
Watch it here again as he goes down the snow. Watch how the back end of the car kind of jumps up into the air.
Yeah, right there. Actually didn't look like too rough of a hit. It looked like more rubbed against it than anything else.
And I'm not rightly sure what exactly is down in there that he would have hit. He wasn't far enough down to hit the attenuator wall in between pit road and the racetrack. I know there's a victory lane down there, but to my knowledge, at least at a lot of the Michigan racetracks, there's normally nothing in the infield. You just see the 712 got loose, was trying to gather it back up.
this whole caution right here, a tough break for a lot of drivers out there, but I would imagine it was a good break for one person out there, that being Ulysses Sandoval. Remember, we saw him come down pit road right as they were taking the restart.
I would agree with you on that if it weren't for the fact that when he came down pit road, he actually retired out of the race.
Oh, well, like I said, could be or
Yeah.
should be. So
not sure exactly
Never mind.
what happened there. But he's going to finish 29th tonight, and he'll be joined by 2 others out of the race after that incident. Mark Paglia and Andre Charest. Paglia might have been the car I saw get Brian Lovell in the infield snow in that wreck. And it looks like Rodney Sullins has now retired from the race as well. So the garage area is starting to pile up here. Now a total of 7 drivers out of the race. Cy Jones got the free pass, so that remains 25 drivers in this race.
Sean Prime got a good launch on that restart.
Sneaky
Josh?
good run here for Cody Lamas, by the way.
Josh Metallic also got a good restart. He's going to go side by side with Prime for the race lead. And you see Cody down there, the third car on that inside line.
Made his way up to 6th. Maybe 5th in a moment. Oh, not a good run there in that corner, though, and he nearly lost it.
Trying to tuck up there in front of Brian Schilling. You know, we talked about a number of faces we hadn't seen at the front when they were playing strategy on the last restart. A couple of drivers we haven't mentioned that have done a good job of getting through some wrecks here. But Chuck McClure in that 17, actually saw him at the tail end of the field snake his way through that massive pile up from turn 4 all the way to turn 1, and he's now cracked the top 10. Cautions out. I thought I heard squealing wheels over there in turns 1 and 2, and apparently that was the case. 9th caution of the evening here, closing in on 20 to go.
If we get another caution, they will be racing back to the line. Would you say 15 laps to go?
Correct. We're going to cut right back to the replay. This incident, I believe, involved the 41 of Denny Carroll, who has already retired out of the race.
Another one.
Driver that was up inside of the top 5 for the better part of the evening. Oh.
Greg Palmer.
Katie again getting caught up in that one.
Oh, wow.
My.
Carroll immediately retiring.
Let's go back and take a look. We saw Palmer have a little bit of difficulty with cold tires over in 3 and 4 earlier on tonight. Could this be the same deal this time over in 1 and 2? Oh. Looked like on that one, carried a lot more speed than he wanted to. Nearly was into the 63 and had to get on the brakes. Watch this from the chopper cam. Watch the tremendous run he gets going into this corner on the car up ahead of him.
Caught him right in an unfortunate part of the racetrack and sent everybody around. If that were to happen maybe on the back stretch or the front stretch where there's a little bit more space, maybe you could have avoided a few more cars being involved in that. But again, it's just this happening right in the middle of one of those turns. There's not really that much space.
He's on board with Dave Robbins. Oh, might have had this wreck miss, but you saw a little contact between him and Glenn Harris. Shot him up out of the groove.
I think that's what ultimately led to him being spun out there. He nearly had it. That little brush up, and then he couldn't really avoid the wall.
I remember back when they ran the Aero 88 cars on Thursday nights, there was a feeling out process in that first season. Drivers trying to get acclimated to the hitboxes of these race cars. Kind of seems like we are getting a kind of return back to that here tonight. We've seen a lot of contact quarter panel to quarter panel where we can visibly see space on our screen, but apparently the hitbox spreads out a little bit further than what we visibly see with the bodies of these race cars. We've seen a lot of drivers bouncing off of other drivers' right rear quarter panels, specifically on the entry of the corners.
Looks like there were some pit stops that were made under this caution. A couple guys that were running up in the top 5, top 10 are no longer there right now. We see Sean Prime stayed out along with Grant Wesley, Josh Metallic, and Jeremy Jeffries.
Saw Denny Carroll retired out of the race. Greg Palmer also out of the race. 23 drivers still running. I don't think they give out an award for the driver that makes the most pit stops tonight, but kind of interesting. Few drivers have been on pit road double-digit times here tonight. Chuck McClure, who's up in the 8th position, has been to pit road 10 times this evening, and then both Jeff Supta and Keith Bynum have pitted a total of 11 times here tonight. If you don't know every one of your pit crew members by their first name by that point, you haven't been to pit road enough.
You're on the wrong team.
I'm not 100% sure. Hang on, just to satisfy my curiosity here. It is. Got a Transformer logo on the hood of Sean Prime's car.
I wonder what the meaning is behind that.
Well, on the RTG forums, his username is Optimus Prime.
Makes sense. There you go. I never put that together until now.
I really think of Transformers and Christmas, but you found a way to make it work.
Hey, if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, Transformers could be a Christmas movie.
There you go.
Do any of them take place on Christmas?
I don't know. I've never watched Transformers. Maybe.
I've only seen one of them, and that one didn't.
Does.
Is there even a flake of snow in any Transformers movie it's automatically a Christmas movie?
A good question.
Great launch there for Sean Prime. But here comes Metallic on the hunt. He's led the most laps so far here tonight. 30 circuits out in front, trying to get that lead back, and he's calling on the Grinch for some assistance.
Oh, 3 wide there. Wesley
Wow,
got
Prime got way
up
too-
the racetrack.
Sean Prime got way too high right there. He's going to lose a number of spots because of it.
Jeremy
Jeremy
Jeffries.
Jeffries is going to get that momentum on the inside, and to your point there, Kyle, that's going to cost those guys, Brett Wesley, too, a lot of position.
I don't know if he had his turn signal on, but Jeremy Jeffries, I think he crossed about 3 lanes of traffic out of turn 4, all the way from the top, all the way down to the bottom. Oh, Causey!
Oh!
Off the nose of Richard Martin. They were 3 wide as McClure stuck his nose in, and Causey's going to pay the price from the 8th position. There's a couple of things I don't think you want to make mad. I think the Abominable Snowman might be one of them, right up there maybe with Krampus and the Grinch.
Well, they say in the Rudolph movie that Bumbles bounce. I don't think he really bounced there when he hit the wall.
No, he did not. He spun.
Looks like they took the caution, and no, they didn't quite reach 15 to go.
He was right before 15 to go.
So field was still frozen. Josh Metallic will still maintain the lead. Watch this down the back straightaway. McClure with a move to the inside there of Martin, and not sure if Causey knew they were 3 wide. Martin trying to give some room to the 17 below him. And gets into that left rear of Kelly Causey. Not going to be much damage there for Kelly Causey, but that's a lot of track position loss with not a lot of race laps left to be able to make that ground back up.
Yeah, to your point there, I'm not sure Kelly Causey knew they were in a 3 wide situation. It looked like he thought maybe he was still a bit clear on the top, trying to get in line there. Didn't realize that the car in the middle was making room for the car on the inside.
So caution's going to wave once again. It'll set us up for a restart south of 15 to go. More than likely, we're not going to see any of our race leaders come to pit lane any longer. But they're going to keep that track position that has proved to be so valuable during the course of this evening's race. Looks like Kelly Causey is done for the night as well. So he will get 23rd place position this evening. Leaves us with 22 drivers still in this race. Metallic still out in front. Brian Schilling in second. A couple of drivers looking to pick up their first victories in this event since FRN hopped on board to broadcast it. Then you got a couple of, actually you got the other 3 former winners that are in the field here tonight. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Jeffries, Prime, and Wesley. 6th place right now, Dante Ricky. John Godfrey now up in 7th with Chuck McClure in 8th. Richard Martin is 9th, and Bob Seminara currently in the 10th position.
Personally, going to be keeping my eyes on Wesley on this restart because he's back to the bottom of the racetrack after we saw him wash up the track a little bit and lose a lot of momentum and a lot of spots. He's in 5th place here, and he's got all kinds of space on the bottom possibly, so it'd be an opportunity at redemption for that 88 car.
We'll also have to watch Sean Prime. Saw him get really wide off of turn 4 on that last restart. I don't know if that was in relation to the tires underneath him or not. Going to be on the top side for this restart, so we'll have to see if his venture through those couple of corners on this upcoming restart lap will maybe be a little bit tamer than they were on the previous restart. Looks like someone may have dove to pit road here at the last moment. Seminara is now going to jump down to the inside line in the 9th position. Cody Lamas will pull up alongside of him in 10th position. Not sure which driver it was that gave up a top 10 restarting spot. The lights are out on the pace car, and we will be at 13 laps to go. They do have the updated EXE here, so our point of no return lap would be pushed back a little bit further than if this was the game determining the number of laps, the number of caution laps under pacing. I think it's safe to say if we were around 3 to go and a caution came out, more than likely the race would end under yellow, but hopefully we don't get to that. Maybe we get to finish this race out under green flag conditions. Metallic and Schilling the front row, getting ready to put us back under the green once again. Everybody in that second and third lane trying to anticipate when the green flag's going to drop.
Everybody's on the edge of their seats right now.
Fairly even, they're out of 2. Slight advantage down the back straightaway for Metallic. Might be clear of Schilling as they enter into 3. Let's see if he's able to get clear, if he moves up to the outside line, or does he keep it pinned down to the inside line with the assist from Jeremy Jeffries.
Somebody that got a really good restart there was Cody Lamas. He restarted in 10th. He's now battling for the 4th position right now. And he pitted a couple cautions back, and
Oh
Chuck
boy.
McClure goes around.
I believe he made some contact with John Godfrey. That's going to bring out the yellow once again. We are racing back. And Jeffrey's got around Metallic. Wesley's going to clear into second. Drag race for third between Lamas and Metallic that nearly traded some paint. And Jeffries will bring us back to the caution. Wesley got second, and I think Cody may have just barely edged Metallic for third. Metallic and Schilling going to be the top 5 here for this upcoming restart that will be with less than 10 laps to go. We saw the last caution. Chuck McClure was in the vicinity of it. And this time he was the reason for the yellow. I actually misidentified the car he made contact with. It was the other red and white machine, the 712 of Bob Seminara.
Looks like Seminara slid up just a little bit and got into the 17.
This was a battle, I believe, for the 10th position at the time. Here's a look at it from the aerial view. Yeah, you can see the 712 push up the racetrack there.
Yeah, it's that, again, one of those moments that we talked about earlier, that fighting for real estate when you're in those tight corners of the racetrack there.
And with these type of tracks, you could even argue this case at a few mile and a halves as well. It's a catch-22. Your instinct is, I need to run the inside line because it's the defensive line. If you're going to have a driver pass you, you send them around the outside, the longer way around. But what you're giving up is a good entry into the upcoming corner. We saw right there, the 712 lost the nose. A big reason for that, as that heat builds up in the right front tire and you take that shallow entry into the corner, the car does not want to turn. So you have to have that extra bit of room there, about that half groove of room, to be able to compensate for that, and unfortunately there just wasn't that much space for the 712 and the 17. Looks like Seminara is done for the night. He will eventually fall down the running order to 22nd, and as we brought you back from that replay, notice that the 4 of Brian Schilling was on pit road. And he was going to restart up inside of the top 5, so one would have to wonder what the strategy play is here. He's probably going to restart outside of the top 15. Even if we go back green here with 7-8 laps to go, I don't think that's enough time with fresh tires to work your way back up to the front.
I wouldn't think so, restarting that far back.
So we'll keep an eye out for him, see what he's got stored up for what potentially could be the final restart, as
Lights go out.
Jeffries led us back here to the yellow, looking for his second victory in the last 4 years of this event. Grant Wesley to his outside, looking for back-to-back victories between 2024 and 2025. Cody Lamas now going to line up in the 3rd position. Started just about the furthest back of anybody tonight. Billy Elliser was the driver that started shotgun in the field. Cody just 1 spot up from him, 31st off the running order, and Josh Metallic, who's led the most laps so far here tonight, 36 laps, lines up on the outside of that 2nd row. Sean Prime, 2023 winner, will complete the top 5. Dante Ricky, John Godfrey, Glenn Harris, Brian Lovell, and look who's up in the top 10. Jeff Supta, still some fight there in that number 11, the pole sitter, trying to make his way back up here to the front, trying to go coast to coast, pole to win this evening.
I think Jeremy Jeffries, when we called the latter half of the Aero 88 season, he was the one person not named Jeff Supta or Grant Wesley who went to victory lane, so Jeffries will certainly be eager to try and see if he can hold on to the lead for as long as he can on this restart.
Had a couple of victories during the course of that season, one of which we called that was at a track kind of similar to this, a 2-mile speedway, so not surprising to see him up here at the front. And look how low they are coming off of turn 4, making sure nobody can jump to their inside here on this upcoming restart.
Cody Lamas looks a little eager as well to stay on his back bumper. He
Josh
got a nice
Metallic
restart.
did not get a good restart, though.
Dante Ricky going to tuck down in front of John Godfrey. 8
Cody-
laps to go.
Cody's going to go to 2nd there. He got a good restart behind Jeremy Jeffries.
Talked about it a little bit earlier, that Cody not often able to participate in these races, so the fact that he's up here, he's definitely trying to take as much advantage of it as possible, and he's got to hold off Sean Prime.
He's got a
first,
little
which is
bit
no
of a
easy
tire.
task.
He's got a little bit of a tire advantage over these guys up here too. He pitted a couple cautions back when a lot of these guys didn't.
Ooh.
So see if that comes into play. Looks to the outside, but here comes Sean Prime looking for 2nd.
He looked to the inside for a moment. That was a nice block there by Jeffries.
Ooh, big lift through the center of the corner there for Sean Prime. I think I saw the back end start to step out a little. Cody and Grant are both going to go around him.
Look at the
Lamas
outside.
going for the lead.
Grant right up there behind him as well. Now he'll shift down to the bottom, maybe see if he can find a lane to take these guys 3 wide for the top position. Jeffries will stay out in front, gets an assist from Grant down the front straightaway. Cody gonna tuck down in front of Sean Prime as Prime has to go up to the top.
Prime is getting a little bit of a run there. That was impressive by Lamas to get back in the way there and hold on to the top 3.
5th position under contest, Dante Ricky, Josh Metallic, John Godfrey trying to enter into this conversation. Everybody hugging that white line down through 3 and 4.
Here comes Prime to the inside of Lamas.
5 laps to go here in the 2025 Happy Holidays 200. Grant showed the nose to the top. Looked like Cody might have gone up there with him. Then they both come back down to the bottom.
How wide can Jeffries make that car?
Whoa! Prime went a little too wide there. Might have brushed a little paint off the right side of that car off of
second.
2.
Cody's
Inside
going for it,
of
and here comes
Wesley.
Metallic.
Flip that white line a little bit to Cody. Rides up off the corner. Still stays side by side with Wesley. Jeremy Jeffries loving what he's seen in the rearview mirror right now. The priority is for second place. He can choose whatever line he wants.
This reminds me a little bit of tandem drafting.
When Josh Metallic wasn't sure if he was going to, try to help push Cody on by or if he was going to try to make it 3 wide himself.
Again, a little contact with the outside wall by Sean Prime. Doesn't seem to really be affecting the straight lines. Caution!
Caution's out.
And we're coming around here to 3 to go. I don't know if we're going to be getting back green or not. This could be the proverbial checkered flag for the Toys for Tots #1 of Jeremy Jeffries. He'll receive the 12th caution of the night. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't see there being enough time to get him racked up back green. Wesley crossed the line in 2nd, Sean Prime in 3rd. They took the caution coming to 3 laps to go. Maybe we'll see a 1-lap shootout, but I'm not certain. I think they would have to have the lights go out this time.
Yeah, I think they're out of time. I mean, you pointed it out earlier, too. Jeremy Jeffries loved what he was seeing right behind him because he basically had all this time to try and hang on to the lead while nobody really fought for it because everybody was busy fighting each other just for P2, P3. So, good run by Jeffries at the end. We'll have to see what brought out the yellow.
10 of Terry Bombard.
Terry
I saw him out of the
Bombard.
race, so I wondered if maybe he was in the vicinity of the incident, and indeed that was the case. That's Dave Robbins getting into him.
Well then.
Oh, one of the few cars we've seen spin on the back straightaway that actually went all the way down and hit the inside wall. Here's a look at it again. Terry gets a little wide off of 2. I think he actually does brush the wall. Well, maybe not.
Oh,
Cy
7.
Jones back there did,
Cy
though.
Jones. Good save there by him.
And then a hit with the back end into that Garland decorated inside safer barrier for the 10 of Terry Bombard, who, as we mentioned, is out of the race. Looks like Pat McCarskey also not going to reach the conclusion of this one, as he most recently made the trip down pit road and the left-hand turn to the garage area.
I mean, that should be the race. We're on lap 79 of 80 right now. The lights are still on the pace car, so I think we're done.
Yeah, next time by, a white flag will be displayed. And Jeremy Jeffries, how about this? I mean, you mentioned about the fact here tonight, 32 drivers. We're going to take the green flag. Only 3 drivers in the field had previously won this event in the 4 years prior that we had broadcasted this. Those 3 drivers are going to be your podium finishers here tonight. Jeffries, Wesley, and Prime. Cody's going to bring it home in 4th. Dante Ricky's going to complete the top 5. You see right there, back there, Sean Prime, Cody Lamas. They know they were in a dogfight tonight. Little side by side there saying, hey, good battle. As white flag will be displayed over the hood of Jeremy Jeffries' car.
Really going to get to interview the top three. That's a shame right there for Cody Lamas. I have a question that I was going to ask him from a viewer. Not going to be able to ask it, unfortunately.
It's interesting, when we first started broadcasting over here for RTG, I believe Jeremy Jeffries at the time, his original number was the 44, but he then migrated over to the 8. Now it seems like ever since he's moved over to the 1, we've seen the 1 finish P1 quite a bit, whether it be on Thursday nights, Wednesday nights, or even on Monday nights in the Bare Bones Racing Series. And here this evening, he will have picked up his second victory of this event in the last 4 years. Again, this event ran long before we came on to broadcast it, so I'm not sure if this is his second career overall victory, if he had any prior to the 2021 year. But at least in terms of, since we started broadcasting, makes him the first multi-time winner of this event on FRN. "19 drivers going to take this checkered flag. Yes, we had 12 cautions here tonight, but again, we said it coming on tonight. No championship on the line, no points on the line, so go out there, have some fun, race hard. Cautions mean nothing in this type of a race.
Have a little bit of fun to celebrate the holidays, and they're going to be four wide here as they come to the checkered.
4 abreast finish. Very nice.
Oh, Dante's going to try and make it 5 real quick. I don't think he got there in time. He tried.
Now the question is, do all 5 of them do burnouts?
I think the biggest question is, are they going to do burnouts in the snow?
They could. Cody's going for one.
Big win.
tight
there.
racing. Have to say, does Cody even know what snow is living in Florida?
He knows what ice is, being a hockey fan. Snow, I don't think he knows what that is. It's interesting. When we came on the air, I asked you, Kyle, is track position really that important? You said yes. Well, I think Jeremy Jeffries kind of showed case in point just how important it is to have that car out in clean air. Led 11 laps here tonight. They were the last 11 laps of this race.
And he had some challenges up there late in the race. From Wesley, from Cody, from a couple of others up there on Prime, but he was able to make that car awfully wide, and nobody was able to get by him, and did a great job late in the going to score the win.
Jeff Supta, pole sitter, giving him a congratulatory spin. It was a tough night for Supta, finished 18th place. And here comes Jeremy down to the start-finish line to begin the celebration here at Michigan Nextel Winter. It's like we're keeping it on the racetrack.
Well, at least we can see it until there's too much snow.
That's true.
Surprised nobody ran a car that looks like a snowplow.
I was going to say, I'm surprised nobody ran a car that looks like snow. Go down there in the infield to make passes. Nobody will know that you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
the top of the car would peek out over the top though, like you can see it right there.
Well, yeah, but if you got it painted the same way the snow texture looks, who's going to know?
Maybe.
Well, Victory Lane is down there somewhere. I think Jeremy's trying to find it.
Trying to plow his way through it, trying to use the
there
cars
it
and
is.
stuff. Oh, there we go. That's one thing I love about Michigan too. You can do your burnout right there in Victory Lane.
Now he'll make his way down pit road, more than likely park it in the pit stall, celebrate with his team, and we'll be talking with him down in Victory Lane, as well as our podium finishers here in just a moment. We'll show you the full finishing results from tonight's special event. Jeremy Jeffries going to bring it home with the win. Grant Wesley in second. Sean Prime third. Cody Lamas got fourth. It looks like he may have passed somebody under yellow. Got a post-race EOL. So fifth place would be Dante Ricky. Josh Metallic will finish in sixth. John Godfrey was seventh. Brian Lovell eighth. Keith Bynum ninth. 10th for Ron Hagelin. Greg Lovell, despite not having third gear, he'll get 11th place tonight. Richard Martin in 12th. Brian Schilling was 13th. Chuck McClure 14th. 15th for Dave Robbins. 16th Doug Cady. 17th Glenn Harris. Cy Jones was 18th. And Jeff Supta was the last driver to finish this race on the lead lap. He'll finish in 19th place. Everybody else finishing out of the race, some due to crash damage, some due to mechanical failures. Pat McCarskey, Bob Seminara there with some wheel issues. Terry Bombard right in between them in 21st. Kelly Causey, Greg Palmer, Denny Carroll, who had a great run going tonight, was a top 5 car for first half of this race. Rodney Sullins had a great run going. It just broken into the top 10. Andre Charest, Mark Paglia, Ulysses Sandoval. Gearbox issues for Billy Elliser, who had a flip off of turn 4. Randy Waugh in 31st, and Dennis McCarthy in 32nd. Did not reach the conclusion here tonight, which obviously, in these type of events, you'd like to make it to the start finish line. You'd like to be in the conversation for the win, but when it's in a special event, it doesn't sting quite as bad. If you DNF, you're not giving up points, you're not giving up a playoff position, and you're not giving up a championship. But Jeremy Jeffries made his way to the finish of this race and brings it home in P1 as we take it into our FRN post-race wind down. And let's dial up the drivers that bring it home in the top 3 positions here tonight. Kicking off with the winner of this event from 2023, third place finisher Sean Prime.
User was moved to your
Hey
channel.
Sean, it's the guys up here in the FRN booth. You got a copy?
I do, gentlemen. How are you?
Wow, wild race here tonight. We knew it was going to be coming into this evening. You put 30-plus drivers on the racetrack and tell them, hey, there's no points on the line. We know we're going to be in for an aggressive race, especially at a track like Michigan where it's so spacious and you can generate runs in every different area of the racetrack. We saw you kind of at the front, then towards the back, then back up at the front again. A little bit of an adventurous trip for you to get back up into the conversation, and some really, really aggressive restarts in the closing stages. What little more could you have done to get up there to the one? Because it looked like the battle for second was kind of holding you guys back from being able to get up to Jeremy.
Oh, I had a lot of thoughts. First of all, I apologize. There was way too many cautions there, and when the caution was not out, we were trying to put on a heck of a show up front. I hope you caught that. Yeah, you could get great runs here. It always puts on a great race, and once you get out front, you could try to low line and stuff like that. But if a guy gets a run, this is a fun race. Let him. I don't mind dropping to the back. It's kind of fun, honestly. And at the end there, we didn't need that last caution because those guys were fighting so hard for the bottom, so hard digging for that bottom in turn 1. And I don't know if you notice, I just flashed way up to the high side because they're going to get all bottled up and lose their momentum. And I just try to charge down. I needed those last 2 laps to do exactly that same thing and get it from third to first. Like, I kind of feel bad though, because Cody was fighting hard there for probably maybe his first podium, but he put on a heck of a race there, where he's not used to mixing it up with some of us there at that group at the front, and he appointed himself quite well, but only to be denied by a couple thousandths at the end there. But yeah, it was great race, and certainly congrats to Jeremy and to Grant.
Yeah, we actually had Cody jump into our YouTube chat. Looks like he reciprocates the fun it was in that battle in the closing stages. I want to go back to, we were talking about all the different facets of this racetrack. Obviously tire wear was going to be important with that right front and everything. You mentioned about running the top side. There was a moment on a restart late in this race where we saw you up on that top side coming off of turn 4. It looks like, couldn't tell if you got out of the groove or if the car got a little loose, maybe on cold tires there. What were some of the key things that you drivers were battling with the racetrack here tonight, aside from what you had to deal with in battling each other?
Well, there was, again, it's just a fun race, and you not necessarily race people this way on a regular race, but when that green flag drops, it's on. There's no lap getting it up to speed. You're going to lose 4 spots if you don't. So, and it's really sketchy, that first lap. So that one time, yeah, Grant was right behind me. We were trying to work the high side, and we're just sliding, and you got to pedal it as much as you can to keep it off the wall. but you can recover just as quickly and charge down there. I like running the mid-high line here when you can and just kind of hold the momentum. But yep, just great times.
Well, started this race from the outside of the front row, as you said, had a lot of fun working your way from the back up to the front once again. Bring it home solidly in the third position here tonight. Congratulations on a great run, Sean. And before we let you go, floor is open to you for thank you, sponsors, and shoutouts.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Seth, for everything you've done for us this entire year with FRN and with you working now with Blaine on the Thursdays and stuff and other things. Really, really do appreciate it here. And we all know it's been a rough year, and we're thinking about Bones and Bob and everybody else that we've lost here and that's suffering, lost loved ones. But, you know, at the same time, it's time to be with, take account of what we do have and to honor those and celebrate with our families as best we can. And look forward to a bright 26 with everybody and some great racing to come. And just like I said, just great thing to be part of this community. We band together when things are tough, and no different here. But tonight was a night to let out some steam, and I'm glad to see some guys having some fun. It was a blast inside the race room, and the year's just always a good time. So thank you to all again, and thank you to Jeremy and to Josh and Jason and to Jeff and to Brian and Tim and Rodney and Grant. Got to get them all in there. Ron and everybody that makes this place go. Dante, the whole crew. I'm sure we're going to miss somebody out there, but again, thank you guys, and we'll see you going in 26. Still got a finale to cover here though on Thursday, I hear.
Yes, we do. Still got championship to decide this week, as you say, but a great run for you here tonight. Great way to cap off 2025. Wish you luck in 2026, and congratulations on a great performance and an exciting race here tonight, Sean.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Let's see if we can now get a hold of the
User
driver
was
that
moved
brought
out
it
of your
home,
channel.
P2. Let's dial up last year's winner of this event, Grant Wesley.
User was moved to
Hey,
your
Grant,
channel.
the guy's up here in the FRN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Wild race here tonight. I feel like I'm overusing that word. I said it to Sean. I'm saying it to you. I'll probably say it when I interview Jeremy as well, because up here from the broadcast booth, it looked like you guys were putting every piece of asphalt to the test, utilizing every area of this racetrack, multi-groove racing during the course of the evening. And Sean said he would have loved to have had those last few laps be under green flag conditions because he had a plan. Are you in the same boat? Did you have something for Jeremy if we had had those final laps here under green flag conditions?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with a yes on that. You know, I didn't win, so of course I want more laps. But yeah, man, Michigan, it's a tough track to, you know, you always get such a run on the guy in front of you. So anytime it ends under caution, you know, it's unfortunate. But yeah, I was having fun. You know, we had sort of a mediocre qualifying attempt there. I started like 8th, I think, and actually tied with Jeremy. We were 7th and 8th, and yeah, we about midway found our way into the top 5 and kind of stayed up there the rest of the race. And we were in position, but you know, it's Michigan, it's a Christmas race. You know, points don't count. It's all about the win, and everybody was hungry. And Jeremy Jeffries put his best foot forward, and he got the win. So congratulations to him.
You mentioned this being a tough track. We saw a lot of drivers here tonight kind of follow the pitfalls that this racetrack has. This event, ever since we broadcasted it, starting back in 2021, it's always been this racetrack, these race cars, and it's interesting that as we look at the podium finishers here tonight, it ends up being the 3 previous winners of this event, including yourself, the defending winner. How much does experience with this car track combination, how much does that come into play year after year as we do this event?
You know, it's kind of funny how like you're on different mods, and sometimes you just find a mod that clicks. And I know this mod for me has been running very well. You know, I won the Tally Challenge Championship 2 seasons ago with it, and I've had a great run on Wednesdays with it. And yeah, just you kind of see familiar faces up front, you know, and it's definitely experience. Michigan's a tricky place. You know, we run the same track, same car, and experience definitely pays off.
Well, we certainly saw it come to the forefront here tonight. I know you would have loved to have had a shot there for this victory. The caution bringing you up just one position shy of going back-to-back, but a great run for you here tonight, Grant. Some good momentum going into the 2026 respective seasons as well. Congrats on a great performance tonight. Before we let you go, we'll give you the opportunity for some thank you sponsors and shout-outs.
Yeah, I just want to wish everybody that tunes in here to the broadcast a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, safe travels. I'd like to thank the owner here, Sean Prime, uh, and just all the admins that help out here at RTG. I'm not going to list them all because I'll miss a few, but you guys know who you are. FRN, thanks to you guys for taking time out for us. Jeremy Jeffries, my teammate there, congratulations on the win. My teammates with XFM, my friends and family for watching, and my girlfriend Brittany.
Well, that is Grant Wesley. He brings it home tonight in second place, nearly goes back-to-back in the Happy Holidays 200. Great run for you here tonight. Congratulations once again. Certainly going to be keeping an eye on this number 88 if we end up being around for the 2026 iteration of this event. And best of luck going into the respective seasons in the new year.
All right, thanks.
Grant Wesley, second place here tonight.
User was moved out
Let's
of
go
your
down
channel.
to victory lane and see if we can dial up the winner of the 2025 Happy Holidays 200, Jeremy Jeffries.
User was moved to
Hey,
your
Jeremy, it's the
channel.
guys up here in the FRM booth. Got a copy?
I do. Hello.
Hey, back in 2022, we saw this very familiar paint scheme burning it down, winning this event in December. Fast forward 3 years later, had a dogfight on your hand to be able to pick up the victory. Now, we came on board in 2021. I don't know if this is your second overall win of this event or if you have previous wins as well, but at least since we started broadcasting, makes you the first repeat winner of this event. Talk about how much you were looking out the windshield as opposed to what you were looking in the rearview mirror there in the closing stage of this race, because you had a lot of multiple runs on multiple grooves barreling down your back bumper.
The only time I was looking at my windshield was to make sure I didn't miss the corner. That's about it. I was in the mirror the rest of the time because I knew I was having to defend those runs from cars behind me, especially Cody. Cody had newer tires than me, and he was fast, and I just had to block the best of my ability, and he got outside of me. I was like, that might be it.
Started this race from the 7th position, ran top 5 all night long. You mentioned about tires. We ended up seeing multiple cautions during the course of this race, specifically the ones in the second half of the race. Now, we knew that fuel was going to be a concern, but eventually we crossed over the threshold where you guys were safe on that. How difficult was it in the closing stages of this race to figure out when was the right caution to make that final pit stop and then commit the rest of the way?
I think I pitted, I don't know, it was like, I think we went green with about 28 to go, something like that. So I knew when I pitted there that I was in trouble if we didn't get some more cautions. Then I think we got a quick caution right away. And I was like, all right, I was feeling a little better. And then we got another caution. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm not pitting anymore. This is it. Whatever happens, happens.
If we had run those last couple of laps under green, you mentioned about being maybe at a disadvantage tire-wise. I think at the time the caution flew, Grant had cleared Cody for second place. There was about maybe 2.5 car lengths between the two of you. Did you have the tires, or did you have a strategy that would have been able to keep him at bay?
Well, you know, Grant, it's hard to keep him behind you a lot of times. Luckily, he never got that good run. I think because he was trying to fight there with Cody and keep him behind him and pass him and do all that. He never got that good run down the straightaway to pounce on me. But you know, he's my teammate. So when he got there racing with Cody, obviously I went with whatever line Grant was in to help him out. And then I was like, well, I might regret this later. But the caution came out there and it all worked out.
One final question for you. As I mentioned, you're a former winner of this event in 2022. Now, this is a race. It's a special event. There's no points up for grabs. There's no playoff spot if you win. There's no championship on the line. What is it for yourself and maybe for everybody else in the field as well? What is it that drives you to want to win this event?
I want to win every event I'm in, to be honest with you.
That's a good answer.
But no, it's just the competition's so tight and everybody's so good, and it's an accomplishment. You're not just out here running around on a Sunday drive. You're out here working for it, and the challenge and the excitement and just the thrill of winning and beating these guys is incredible. And it doesn't help to end the year on a high note and go into next season in 2026 to taking that momentum with us.
Well, certainly going to be taking that momentum for sure here tonight, leading the final 11 laps of this race to pick up the victory here. Congratulations, Jeremy. We'll let you get back to your celebrating here in just a moment, but first we're going to give you the opportunity for Victory Lane. Thank you, sponsors and shoutouts.
Oh man, thank everybody that came out tonight. We had a great crowd. I wasn't expecting this many drivers to show up on just a fun race, so that was great. You guys for broadcasting to FRN, Jack and Kyle and Seth do a great job, and glad to have you aboard for this every year since 2021 apparently. Thanks to Grant for working with me there and helping me out, and vice versa, helped him out. To all the admins, the staff here, the owners, everybody that keeps RTG going. This year's been a tough one with the loss of Bones, and more recently with Bob, and thinking about them, and I like to dedicate this win to those guys. And just it's been a year. It's been a real tough year, and to have the good racing still and the competition and things still be going in the right direction. I feel like that after we lost such an important piece of the puzzle is great, and just got a great group of guys here that keep everything going. And I guess I should thank Toys for Tots for sponsoring me. Nice little Christmas scheme here. It seems to have brought me some good luck a couple of times. And everybody out there watching, my family, friends, my XFM teammates, thank you. Merry Christmas. Good night.
Well, an early Christmas present for Jeremy Jeffries here tonight as he gets to park that number 1 machine in Victory Lane. He finishes P1 in the 2025 Happy Holidays 200. Congratulations on the win here tonight, Jeremy. Well deserved, and best of luck as you look to carry this momentum into 2026.
Thank you, guys.
Jeremy Jeffries, your winner here tonight
User was moved out
at
of
the
your channel.
snow-covered Michigan Speedway. Well, Kyle, we are 10 days away from Christmas. I didn't wrap it, but I got an early Christmas gift for you.
User
Oh, really?
was moved to your channel.
It's a llama.
Oh, there we go.
Hey.
What the hell?
We're gonna credit you. You said what did you say the interval was, Cody? 2 1,000. So we'll call it 3.5 is where you finished. That gives you enough for an interview.
Yeah, I was asking under that yellow. I was like, did anybody get the gap? Because if we tied, it should count as an interview.
You share third place. There you go. Co-third place finishers. Kyle said he had a question for you, and so I'm giving him the opportunity here.
Let me find it here. Yeah, we had a viewer had a question for you.
Oh boy.
A viewer that all of us happen to know. And she would like to know, why are you only relevant in a non-points broadcast race?
Or one that's not broadcasted, it would seem. I don't know. I'm exhausted. That was a lot of work. These guys are good, man. I tell you, I'm not up there much, and what can I say? These guys are good, and I knew I had to be on my game, and I did everything I could, man. Every single thing I could.
We talked moments ago with Sean Prime. You two were in that tussle for the third spot in the closing stage, and he said, he enjoyed being up at the front. There was a time he went to the back, and he loved the challenge of fighting his way up through. You started this race nearly shotgun. You rolled off 31st in a 32-car field. Did you have as much fun working your way up through the field to eventually find yourself up here inside of the top 5 in the closing stages?
Yeah, it was really weird. Like usually, I'm in the back. I'll miss some wrecks, and then when I get bored, I'll start moseying my way forward. But during that, like when I first went forward, I think I got up to like maybe 10th or something. I was just chilling, and I had one of my headsets off. I was watching the Panther game. As I was just chilling, and I found myself up there, and I'm like, well, now I actually have to start thinking about it. Pitting on the first time, not pitting on the second time. It's time to do something, and yeah, I just cruised up there, got to 10th, and I believe it was 15 to go when I pitted. I was kind of surprised that most people didn't pit, and I was able to just kind of cruise up there with the fresh tires and put in my best effort to get by Jeremy, but just no help from Grant went low, I think, into 3, and all I needed was a little shove, and maybe I could have got Jeremy there on the fresh tires.
Now the other
Maybe
question.
the maybe the number had something to do with it. You're running the 48
That's
again.
true.
You've always ran well with that number. Now, but now we're used to seeing you run the 84, so maybe the 48 had something to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just I don't know. I had to make up for it because Seth didn't do his Winter Classic this year, so I figured I had to have another good run in Michigan.
That's the only reason he tried tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, got to keep Michigan in a good state.
I got to ask you, we got one more race to cover here for RTG, the season finale coming up on Thursday. Are the Panthers at home? Are you there Thursday night?
Play on Wednesday, and so luckily we'll be good. We'll be gunning for that top 30. I believe I'm only 1 point behind.
With that being said, you've played your hand tonight. You've shown you can be competitive. We don't want to see you riding at the back this Thursday.
Well, you gotta start off in the back. It's more fun when you get that plus positive number of cars passed. No, yeah, it comes across your mind, but every time I decide to do it, it's just like never really works out. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll do it. I got to get the top 30 in points. I want to do that.
Well, hey, good run for you here tonight. Bring it home solidly in the 4th position. Appreciate taking the time to talk to us, and we'll give you the opportunity here for some thank you sponsors and shoutouts, Cody.
Oh, thanks to you guys. Can't wait to go back and watch it. I'll say thanks to everybody in the VC because under that last caution, I got a lot of nice compliments. It meant a lot. A couple guys saying like they really didn't know what to expect with me up there because I'm not usually up there that much, even though we have raced some occasionally in your special events. But it's been a while. So I gained a lot of respect, I believe, from that department. What is it? The GTA, as they say in GTA San Andreas, Mission Pass, Respect Plus.
Yeah.
I'll take that. And maybe next time we'll get that last little shove to get the win or get a good, better finish.
Well, great run for you here tonight. P4 in this special event. Congratulations on a great run here tonight, Cody, and best of luck. Want to see you up front on Thursday night.
All right, I won't prove the bumper sticker wrong this time.
There you go. Cody Lamas, 4th place
User was
here
moved
this
out of your
evening.
channel.
A great run in that number 48 machine. Maybe you have something there, Kyle, because if you look at the 84, there's an indent in the left side of the 8, which would obviously catch air. If you look at the 4, if it's the front number, it's got that somewhat 45-degree angle, maybe a little bit more aerodynamically sound, maybe a little bit more speed. I don't know.
Yes, there's a science to this thing.
Well, great race here tonight. What do you guys think about what I was just mentioning to Grant? The fact that coming in tonight, only 3 drivers had formally won this event since we came on broadcasting in 2021. They all finish in the podium positions. This is a track position track, as we obviously established, but how much does the experience of this car track combination, how much do you think that came into play for those 3 drivers specifically here tonight?
Oh, you can never go against experience, and we saw it in the running order, and it kind of reminds me, what we see Thursday nights during the Talladega Challenge. We talk about all the playoff drivers, how often, so many times late in the going, all the playoff drivers are up there battling it out for the win, and kind of saw the same thing tonight. Everybody that's won this event before up there battling for the win and finished 1, 2, 3.
And to your point, though, I'll play a slight little bit of devil's advocate, though. I mean, Cody Lamas. I mean, we didn't see him running that often, but obviously this is a race that he knew that there was no points on the line. He knew that it was an opportunity to maybe, I guess, like you said, show his hand for this coming Thursday, and he took advantage of that. I mean, he was really, really close to getting a podium finish out of this race as well. So. I think it really goes to show you that while experience did prevail in the end, that there were some drivers that didn't have a whole lot, but ended up surprising us a little bit in this one. That's the fun thing about a special event. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, when it's a special event, there's no points on the line. The gloves are off, and that's when the drivers, the fans up here in the broadcast booth, we hunker down and we know that we're going to be in for not just an exciting finish to the race, but the starts and restarts are going to be aggressive as well as everybody fights for track position at a venue like Michigan. Well, folks, we appreciate you tuning into our coverage here tonight of the 2025 Happy Holidays 200. It belongs to Jeremy Jeffries, his second victory of this event in the last 4 years. We hope you guys enjoyed our coverage. We've got one more broadcast here in 2025 to cover for RTG. That'll be this coming Thursday night. Myself, Kyle, along with Blaine Donlin of Tarnation TV, will be bringing you the season finale of season 66 of the RTG Talladega Challenge Series. 5 drivers, 1 race, 66 laps will determine the champion. We also have the Bracket Challenge Championship that'll be on the line between Denny Carroll and Donnie Garrett. We will bring you coverage of all that starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday night, simulcasted on FRN and Tarnation TV. But guys, I appreciate you joining me in the booth here tonight. Obviously wish you and everybody watching a happy Merry Christmas early here, about 10 days away from that, and we'll get geared up for 2026.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me for part of this race. It's been a pleasure. Another shout out to you guys here at FRN for letting me get involved in the action here. This is my first year calling races for you guys, and been enjoying it so far. Look forward to more.
Same here. Fun race to call. Love Michigan International Speedway. Love the wintry Christmas mix that we had here tonight. So looking forward to calling this race again in the future if I get the chance.
Be honest, Kyle, you just like seeing the snow but not feeling the cold of it.
Exactly. I love looking at snow. I don't want to be out in it.
And I'm right
That's the
there
reason
with
why I
you.
love hockey, too. There's ice. You get to watch it on TV if you're not there.
There you go. Well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in our coverage here tonight. Congratulations once again to Jeremy Jeffries on picking up the victory here this evening. For Jack Mitchell, Kyle Matthews, I'm Seth Cole. We'll see you this Thursday night for our final broadcast on FRN, simulcasted with Tarnation TV, as you've been watching another broadcast here tonight, courtesy of FRN, the Flatout Racing Network.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you